Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. So even in today's class we are continuing the multiple choice questions from the chapter fractions and decimals, and this will be the last video of the multiple choice questions. Okay, coming to the first question for today, that is question number 47. What fraction of the figure is shaded? Now if you look at the shaded blocks here children, we are having few partially shaded blocks. Partially means not completely shaded blocks. So first, before counting the number of shaded blocks, let us make them as fully shaded blocks. If I put this shaded part here, it will be one complete shaded box, right? And then again if I join these two, this will be one. So we have one, then plus another one, this would be one, and these two will become another one fully shaded block. Now apart from this we are having this, that is our another fully shaded block. When we add all these together, we are getting 5 fully shaded blocks. So this will be our numerator. Yes, the number of shaded blocks, that is 5, divided by what will be our denominator children? Denominator will be the total number of blocks. We are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16. In total we are having 16 blocks. So the fraction of the figure that is shaded becomes 5 by 16, option C. Next question 48. Which fraction is equal to 4.4? Now when we have the fraction, the decimal is 4.4. Now how will we convert it into a fraction children? Write the decimal as it is without the decimal point. For the denominator, place 1, and then if you observe the decimal number, we are having only one decimal place. So in the denominator, we will place only 1 0 to the right of 1. Suppose if it was 4 5, here we are having two decimal places, so then the fraction becomes divided by 100. But in the question we are having only one decimal place, so we have only 1 0 in the denominator. 4.4 is nothing but 44 by 10, that is option B. Next question 49. On field day, Nitin jumped 47 by 12 feet and Anil jumped 31 by 6 feet. How much farther did Nitin jump than Anil? Again a similar question was solved by us. Yes children. So what are they saying? The distance jumped by both Nitin and Anil is given. Yes, Nitin has jumped more than our Anil. So we have to find out how much farther. That is, we have to find out the difference between the given two numbers. Did Nitin jump than Anil? Yes, so we have to find the difference. We are having 4 7 by 12 and 3 1 by 6. Let us go with the converting them into improper fractions first. 12 fours are 48. 48 plus 7 becomes how much children? 55. Divided by the denominator 12. Then we have 3 1 by 6. 6 3s are 18 plus 1. 19 becomes the numerator. 6 becomes our denominator. So these are our two improper fractions, 55 by 12 and 19 by 6. Here the both are unlike fractions, right? The both are having different denominators. So we have to take the LCM. We have 6 1s are 6, 6 2s are 12, 6 3s are 18, 12 1s are 12, 12 2s are 24, 12 3s are 36. The LCM or the least common multiple is 12. So for the first fraction is already having 12 as the denominator. So we leave it as it is, minus. For the second fraction, 6 is the denominator. But we want the denominator to be 12. Yes, so we have to multiply 6 by 2. And then even in the numerator, we'll multiply by 2. So 55 by 12 minus 19 into 2, 38, divided by 6 2s are 12. Now we are having both the like fractions. We can subtract them easily. 55 minus 38 is equal to 15. divide 17, sorry. What is 55 minus 38? 17 divided by 12 is our answer here. But if you observe, the given options are in, we are having two mixed fractions here. So first let us convert it into mixed fraction and see. When we divide 17 by 12, we have 12 ones are 12. When we subtract, 5 is our remainder. So how will we write it as a mixed fraction, children? The quotient 1 becomes our whole number, remainder 5 becomes our numerator, and the divisor 12 becomes our denominator. So 5 by 12 is our answer. That is our option C. So 5 by 12 feet is our answer. I hope this is clear. Next question 50. What mixed number represents the shaded portion of the two models shown below? We are having two models here. As you can see, yes, we are having two models. If you look at the first model, it is fully shaded. So the number that represents our first model is 1. Coming to the second model, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 blocks are shaded out of 6. So it becomes 4 by 6. The model 1 is represented by 1 and model 2 is represented by 4 by 6. Now combinedly, how do we show them, children? When we combine them together, it will be nothing but 1 4 by 6. That is option B. Understood? You might have done problems like abacus problems. Say, what was they? What was it? You used to have ones, tens and hundreds. There were number of balls on each rod. Depending on that, we are used to write the number. For this, it would be 321. In the same way, you have to just count the shaded parts, write the fractions together. 1 plus 4 by 6 is nothing but 1 4 by 6. That is our option B. Next question 51. 2 by 3 plus 3 by 4 divided by 1 by 3 plus 3 by 8. See, children, we have to add these two together and again add these two together. Their sums must be divided. We have to divide their sums. Coming to the first one, 2 by 3 plus 3 by 4. The LCM of 3 and 4 is 12. So it would be 3 into 4. Yes, 3 into 4 we get 12. So even multiplying in the numerator. Now 4 into 3 is equal to 12. So even multiplying in the numerator. We have 2 4s are 8 divided by 3 4s are 12. Plus 3 3s are 9 divided by 4 3s are 12. If we add these two together, we add the numerators and keep the denominator. Yes, 8 plus 9 becomes 17 divided by 12. 17 by 12 is the sum of first set of fractions. We have to remember this. This is 17 by 12. Now coming to the second part, 1 by 3 and 3 by 8. Again the LCM of 3 and 8 would be 24. Okay, the LCM of 3 and 8 would be 24. Now if we convert the given fractions into like fractions, we have 3 8s are 24. So multiplying with 8, we have 8 3s are 24. So multiplying with 3. 1 8s are 8 plus 3 3s are 9. Now again 8 plus 9 divided by 24 is equal to 17 by 24. What is the sum of the second fractions, children? First we had 17 by 12 and then we have 17 by 24. Now what should we do? We should divide these two sums. Now how will we divide two fractions? The first fraction kept as it is. Division symbol becomes multiplication. And for the second fraction we write the reciprocal. We are having 17 by 24. We'll make that as 24 by 17. What do you have now? 17 into 24. 17 by 12 into 24 by 17. If we multiply them, we have 17 ones are 17. Yes, it gets cancelled. And so what are we left with? In the numerator we are having 24 and in the denominator we are having 12. If we divide 12 by 24, we have 12 twos are 24. The answer is, the remainder is 0. And what is our answer here? 2. 2 is the quotient here. So 2 becomes the answer. Option, what is the option? Option D. Such a big problem, but the answer is a very small number, that is 2. Understood, children? Whenever such brackets are given, make sure that you do that part first. Okay. Make sure that you do that part first and then do whatever is outside the brackets. Next question 52. Ravi had 5 by 6 of a cake. He ate 2 by 3 of it. Now what part of the cake did he eat? How much did he eat, children? He ate 2 by 3 of our 5 by 6. How much did Ravi eat? He ate 2 by 3 of 5 by 6. So again of here means multiplication. So 2 by 3 into 5 by 6. We have 2 into 5 divided by 3 into 6. We have, see, 2 into 5 divided by 3 into 6. We have 2 ones are 2 and 2 threes are 6. If you want, you can write 2 by 6 into 5 by 3 like this. 2 ones are 2, 2 threes are 6. Yes. Now what are we left with in the numerator? We are having 1 into 5 divided by, in the denominator, 3 into 3. So 1 into 5, 5 divided by 3 into 3, 9. So 5 by 9 becomes our answer. And again, when you are cancelling the numbers like this, see, I am dividing both by 2, right? 2 ones are 2 and 2 threes are 6. You can do this only when there is multiplication symbol between the given numbers. All should be in multiplication. Suppose if I have 2 plus 2 into 5, then I cannot cancel here 2 and 6, children. Understood? Because there is a addition sign as well. We can do this type of cancellation only when there are multiplication signs in both numerator and the denominator. But what is the final answer here? 5 by 9. Option A, 5 by 9. Ravi ate 5 by 9 of the cake. Moving on to next question, that is question number 53. In a village, 2 by 7 of the total population were illiterates. If the number of illiterates were 2674, then the total population was dash. What are they saying here? 2 by 7 is illiterate. And what is the number that represents 2 by 7? 2 by 7 is nothing but 2674. Now what should we find out here, children? We should find out the total population was how much. If you remember this type of problems, what did we used to have? 10 books cost 150 rupees. Then how much does one book cost? What did you do for this problem? You divided our total cost by the total number of books to get the cost of each book. Yes. So in the same way, the similar logic is applied here. What do we have? 2 by 7 is 2674. We have to find out how much 1 is. Why 1? Why am I mentioning it as 1? Because we have to find out the whole population. Whole means 1. Yes, children, whole represents the number 1. So in the same way, we are having 2 by 7 is 2674, and how much 1 will be? We should divide them together. We should divide 2674 by 2 by 7. Now how will you divide a whole number by a fraction? the number written as it is, the division sign becomes multiplication, and as for the fraction, we have to write the reciprocal. So 2 by 7 becomes 7 by 2. We have 2674 into 7 divided by 2. 2674 is divisible by 2. Yes, 2674 is having the number 4 at its ones place. So it is divisible by 2. So let us divide and see. 2 ones are 2. We have 6 brought down. 2 threes are 6. 7 brought down. Again 2 threes are 6. When we subtract, 1 is remaining. 4 brought down. 2 sevens are 14. When we subtract, 0 is our remainder. What is our answer here? 1337 into the number 7. Understood, children? First you can multiply these two together and then also divide by 2. Multiply 2674 by 7 and divide the product by 2. To make our multiplication easier, what did I do? First I divided the number by 2 and then the quotient will multiply by 7. 1337 into 7. 7 sevens are 49. 7 threes are 21 plus 4 25. 7 threes are 21 plus 2 23. 7 ones are 7 plus 2 9. 9359 is our answer. That is option C. So the total population of village was how much, children? 9359. Next question 54. By what number should 4 1 by 4 be multiplied to get 8? Suppose if I say by what number should 4 be multiplied to get 8? How will you find out? See, we have to find out the one of the numbers here. So we'll divide these two. We'll divide the product by our given number. Yes, 8 divided by 4 will give us 2. 4 into 2. 4 into 2 is equal to 8. In the same way, apply the same logic to this. 4 1 by 4 multiplied by something is equal to 8 1 by 2. Now what should be the number here? We need to divide these two together. 8 1 by 2 divided by 4 1 by 4. 8 1 by 2 divided by 4 1 by 4. Let us convert them into improper fractions. 8 2s are 16 plus 1 17 by 2. 4 4s are 16 plus 1 17 divided by our denominator 4. Now how do we divide these two fractions? First fraction written as it is. Division becomes multiplication. For the second fraction we write the reciprocal. So 17 by 4 becomes 4 by 17. Now how do we multiply? Multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators. 17 ones are 17, gets cancelled. We are left with only 4 divided by 2. When we divide 4 by 2, we have 2 2s are 4 and the remainder is 0. So the answer is 2. Yes, children, understood? The answer is 2. For the final answer is option A. 4 1 by 4 into 2 will give us 8 1 by 2. I hope this is clear. Next question. The weight of 28 bags of cement is 1416.8 kgs. Find the weight of 1 bag of cement. A very simple question, right? We have the cost of 28 bags. We have the weight of 28 bags. We have to find out the weight of 1 bag. So we need to divide our number 1416.8 by 28. How do we divide divide a decimal number by a whole number? We just do it normally. We'll divide it normally. The only difference comes in our quotient. At the end, in the quotient, we will place a decimal point. If you look at the 28 table, we have 28 3s are 3 8s are 24, 3 2s are 6 plus 2, 84, and then we have 28 5s are 140. So we'll go with 28 5s are 140 here. When we subtract, 1 is remaining, 6 brought down. Can we divide 16 by 28, children? No. Yes, so that is why we'll place a 0 here and then also bring 8 down. Then we have 28 6 are 6 8s are 48, 6 2s are 12 plus 4 16. Yes, we have 28 6 are 168 and the remainder is 0. What is our quotient now? 506. Our quotient is 506. But we have to place a decimal point. In the question we are having one decimal point. So even in the quotient we'll place a decimal point after one digit from the right. Yes, one decimal place and one decimal place. So our answer is 50.6 kgs, that is option A. Next question 56. The cost of 12 tables is 30,741. Find the cost of one table. Again it is also a simple question, right? We just have to divide the total cost by the total number of tables, that is 12. We have 12 twos are 24. When we subtract, 6 is remaining, 7 brought down. Then we have 12 5s are 60. When we subtract, 7 is the remainder, 4 brought down. And then we have 12 6 are 72. When we subtract, 2 is remaining, 1 brought down. We have 12 ones are 12. When we subtract, 9 is remaining here. Yes, what is the answer here? 2516. But the remainder, we are having a remainder here. So what can you do is, this is a little bit advanced for you children. I think this type of question will not be asked, but for the safe side, I'll explain. Here this is not, the remainder is not 0. So that means this is not a complete division. Yes, so to divide it completely, I'll place a decimal point in the quotient. I'm placing a decimal point in the quotient, and as I have placed a decimal point in the quotient, I can write a 0 here. Understood? As I have placed a decimal point in the quotient, I can write a 0 here. And when am I placing this decimal point? Only after dividing the given numbers. Here the remainder is not 0. Then I am placing the decimal point. Now what do we have here? 90. We have 12 7. We have 90 here. After the decimal point, I am writing 7. Why? Because 12 7s are 84. When we subtract, 6 is remaining. Yes, as we have already placed a decimal point, we can again write a 0 here. Understood? That is the advantage of decimal point. We have 12 5s are, so writing 5 in the quotient. 12 5s are 60. When we subtract, 0 is our remainder. What is our answer? 2561.75. That is option D. Yes, if you are confused with this division because it's a little bit advanced for you, what you can do is, we got 2561, right? We got 2561 as our quotient, and then 9 was the remainder. So the given from the given these two options, the answer can be one of these, because in both of these 2561 is our whole number part. So what you can do is, take this 12 and multiply. When we multiply, this is the cost of one table, right? This is the cost of one table. When we multiply 12, the answer should be this, that is 30,741. Now from the given two options, whichever gives the answer, tick that as the correct one. Understood children? Trial and error method. Take the option, multiply and check whether the product is same as given in the question or not. Next question 57. The product of two numbers is 28.86. If one of them is 3.7, find the other one. Again children, what should we do here? The product of two numbers, that is 3 by 7 into something else, is giving us the answer of 28.86. Is giving us the answer of 28.86. So now we have to find out this number. Again what will we do? We'll divide these two together. 28.86 divided by 3.7. I am writing the, what was it, 28.86 divided by 3.7. We have not covered division of decimal number by another decimal number in our classes, but I will explain here. First step is, let us write them as fractions. How do we write them as fractions? 2886 by 100. Why 100? Because the number has two decimal places. So we are writing two zeros in the denominator. Again for 3.7, it would be 37 by 10. It has one decimal place, so 1 0. Now we already know how to divide two fractions, right? How will we do? 2886 divided by 100 into, we write the reciprocal, 10 by 37. Now if you look at 10 and 100, we have 10 ones are 10 and 10 tens are 100. Yes children, you keep the 10 as it is, or if you want you can multiply as well. What are we left with now? 2886 divided by 10 into 37. That will be nothing but 370. 2886 divided by 370 is our answer. That is the division that we are doing now. Now how to divide these two? We have 370 into 7s are 2590. So we'll go with that, 2590. When we subtract 6, we have to borrow 9, 2. 296 is remaining. But if we look at, this is not a complete division. Yes, I want to divide it further so that my remainder becomes 0. In the previous example, what did we do children? We placed a decimal point in the quotient and wrote a 0. Yes, we are placing a decimal point in the quotient and writing a 0 here. 7 point, the quotient has become 7 point and the remainder here has become 2960. Now we have 378 are 8 zeros are 0, 8 sevens are 56, 8 threes are 24 plus 5 29. It divides exactly. 378 are 2960 and when we subtract, 0 is our remainder. So 7.8 becomes our answer here. Understood? The division of the given two numbers is option B, 7.8. That is 3.7 into 7.8 is equal to 28.86. I hope this is clear. First, what did we do to divide the two decimal numbers? We converted them into fractions and then followed the method that we follow for division of given two fractions. Next question 58. If 0.07 into x is equal to 0.0049, then find the value of x. Again here we are having two numbers that are multiplied and one number is missing. We have to divide these two to get the missing number, or else we can go for trial and error method. As I have already explained two questions wherein we divided the decimal numbers. So here we will go for trial and error method. What is it? That means we will take each of the given options, multiply and see which is the correct answer. 0.07 into, the first one is 0.007. First 7 sevens are 49, 4 carried, 7 zeros are 0 plus 4, 4, 7 zeros are 0, and then all the remainings are 0 here. 0 into everything becomes 0. First I have placed a 0 because we are multiplying with a new number. Then again I have to place 2 zeros, then 3 zeros. Yes. So again 0 into everything becomes 0 here. Again 0 into everything becomes 0. When I add all these together, I will get this as my answer. And where to place the decimal point children? Here we are having 2 places and here we are having 3 places. So 2 plus 3 becomes 5. we place our decimal point after 5 digits from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here comes our decimal point 0.00049. But in the given question it's only 4 decimal places. Here we are having 5 decimal places. So option A is wrong answer. Next, coming to option B, 0.77 into 7. We have 7 sevens are 49, 4 carried, 7 zeros are 0 plus 4, 7 zeros are 0. 049 is our answer, and we are having 2 decimal places, so we'll place the decimal point here. Again, this is not matching with the product given in the question, so option B is also wrong. Coming to option C, 0.07 into 0.7. When we multiply, we have 7 sevens are 49, 4 carried, 4 0. Now for the second line I have to place a 0 first, right? Yes, then 0 sevens are 0, 0 zeros are 0, 0 zeros are 0. When I add these together, this is my answer. And where shall I place the decimal point? We are having 3 decimal places, 1, 2, 3. So after 3 digits from the right, I'll place my decimal point here. Again, this is 0.049. It is not same as the one given in the question. So option C is also wrong. Now we are left with only option D. Without even multiplying, we can say that option D is the correct answer. Yes, A, B, C, all the 3 are wrong. So then ultimately D becomes our correct answer. Let us multiply and check whether it is actually correct or not. 9, then 4, 0. Then for the first, I am placing zeros first. Yes, 0 sevens are 0, 0 zeros are 0, again 0, then again 0, 0, 0. When I add all these together, what will I have, children? This is my product. This is my product. Now where shall I place the decimal point? We are having 4 decimal places. So after 4 digits from the right, I'll place my decimal point here. So 0.0049, that is the same as given in the question. So that is why option D becomes our correct answer. I hope this was clear, right? Yes, what did we do? We went with the trial and error method. That means we took every option and checked whether it is the correct one or not. Or else if you want, you can directly divide 0.0049 by 0.07 and get the quotient there. Understood, children? This one, I hope this was clear. Question number 58. Next we have question number 59. Which number is equal to? We are having a fraction which consists of decimal number here. It's a little bit complicated. If we take the first fraction, 0.1 divided by 0.01. Yes, first let us convert it into fractions. Understood, children? Here 0.1, we had 0.1. If I have to remove the decimal point, I have written 10 as the denominator for it, and then for the denominator 0.001, I have removed the decimal point and written 100 in the denominator. We are having 2 decimal places, so 2 zeros. So what do we have now? 1 by 10 divided by 1 by 100. It's the division of 2 fractions. Division of 2 fractions. 1 by 10 divided by 1 by 100. How will we divide? 1 by 10 into 100 by 1. So it would be 100 divided by 10. When we divide 100 by 10, what is our answer? 10. Yes, so 100 divided by 10 is nothing but 10. The answer of first one is 10. The simplified form is 10. And if we observe the second fraction here, it is the reciprocal of the first one. The numerator and denominator are interchanged. So when the first fraction here is 10 or 10 by 1, what will be the second fraction, children? The reciprocal, that is 1 by 10. 10 plus 1 by 10. Understood? We simplified this decimal number so that it is easier for us to understand. What is it now finally? 10 plus 1 by 10. You can add them, or how do we write 10 plus 1 by 10? It is nothing but 10 1 by 10. This is our mixed fraction. And how do we convert this into an improper fraction? 10 tens are 100 plus 1, 101 by 10. And how do we write this as a decimal number? In the denominator we are having 1 0. So we'll place a decimal point after one digit from the right. 10.1 becomes our answer. Yes, that is option A. I know the question looks a little bit scary, but if you solve it carefully, the question is very easy to solve, children. Option A, 10.1 becomes our correct answer. Understood, right? First we converted these decimal numbers into fractions. 0.1 is nothing but 1 by 10. 0.01 is nothing but 1 by 100. Now we divided these two fractions, upon which we got 10 as our answer. And for the second fraction, it is the reciprocal of the first. So it is nothing but 1 by 10. The first fraction is 10 by 1. So the second fraction is nothing but 1 by 10. And when we added those together, we got 10.1 as our answer. Coming to the last question for today. If the cost of 15 pence is 148.5 rupees, then find the cost of 1 pen. How should we find out? We just divide. Yes, it's a very... We have 15 nines are 135. When we subtract 3, 1 is remaining. 5 brought down. Again we have 15 nines are 135. When we subtract 0 is remaining. 0 brought down. 15 zeros are 0. When we subtract again, 0 is our remainder. The quotient is 990. But as in the given question we are having 2 decimal places, we'll place the decimal point after 2 digits from the right. So 9.90 becomes our correct answer, that is option B. And with this we've come to the end of today's class, children. I hope all the multiple choice questions from the chapter fractions and decimals is clear for you.